as we move on to examine Paul's other letters. The second one we'll consider in this lecture is Philemon, which is addressed to a slave owner by that name. Paul had apparently introduced Philemon to the Christian faith, so there was already a significant bond there. That gives Paul the credibility he needs to speak to Philemon about his relationship to a slave. Paul is once again writing from prison, and there he has met a slave named Onesimus, who belongs to Philemon. Now, it's not clear how this happened. Interpreters often assume that Onesimus had run away from Philemon and perhaps been arrested and put in prison with Paul. But that seems unlikely, because Paul evidently believes he can send Onesimus back to Philemon, along with his letter. And if Onesimus had been under arrest, Paul would not have been able to do that. So many now think that Onesimus had come to the prison to seek Paul's help. You see, according to ancient Roman writers, when slaves ran into difficulty with their masters, they sometimes asked one of the master's friends to intercede for them. And that seems likely here. At one point in his letter to Philemon, Paul writes that if Onesimus owes Philemon any money or has wronged him in some way, Paul will help out by covering the expense. But the letter goes deeper than this. It reframes the relationship between master and slave in the context of Christian community. We know that Philemon, the slave owner, had already accepted the Christian faith. And we learned that while visiting Paul in prison, Onesimus, the slave, had become a Christian too.